Lewis Hamilton has confirmed his desire to compete for his first victory of the season in the coming Grand Prix, with Mercedes hinting at a significant vehicle update in order to reduce the gap to the front. While Hamilton and Mercedes had a slow start to the season by title-winning standards, considerably improved performance in recent races has re-energized the team, and the Silverstone is expected to deliver positively in the coming races due to upgrades done on the car. So how can Mercedes upgrades help them challenge for the top spot this season? Stay tuned till the end of the video to find out. Because of Mercedes' improved record, Hamilton has changed his mind about not being able to compete for a win this season, and he feels he has a chance. When asked if he would be in the running, Hamilton said, "I hope so. That's what we're all working towards. I'm working towards getting that win, and I do believe at some stage we'll be able to compete with these guys. Whether that's this weekend or in 5 races' time," he added. "The journey is the important part. We started off not where we wanted to be. We've made progress, and we've started to hit a patch of consistency. When we do get back to where we deserve to be, I think we'll appreciate it that much more." A win would be a landmark for Hamilton, not only because it would end his longest wait for a victory in an F1 season, but also because it would come in his 300th race, making him the 6th driver to do so. His teammate George Russell, on the other hand, downplayed Mercedes' prospects recently against Red Bull and Ferrari. Russell said, "The honest answer is we don't really know. We think we'll be closer than we probably were in Austria, relatively speaking. It could be reasonable. I think we're not going to be quicker than Ferrari or Red Bull. I think if we have an exceptional weekend, we could be within 2/10 if we get absolutely everything right, but I'll be shocked if we get any closer than that." Mercedes has gradually come to terms with its poor W13 vehicle, and the team has lately introduced changes in an attempt to improve performance. This is continuing in France, where the first photographs of the team's newest aerodynamic tweak were released. Mercedes has brought a redesigned nose to Paul Ricard, which seems to be flatter and might be aimed at decreasing drag, with the team reportedly aiming for a bump in straight-line performance. The entire package will be presented before practice, and Mercedes may even have more changes in store. Toto Wolff, the Mercedes team boss, said, "Our understanding of the W13 is growing with every lap, and it's encouraging to see that reflected in our development and results. While we were quicker in Austria, we still weren't quick enough to challenge at the front. We need to keep chasing those final few tenths and bringing new development to the car," including this weekend in France. Mercedes' new 2022 automobile design drew praise from industry experts when it was shown. The side podless variant was unveiled soon before the Bahrain test and was thought to be a game-changing design. In place of the square intakes shown on the previous launch design and test in Barcelona, the new automobile featured tall, thin cooling inlets. The notion was that by narrowing the car with 0 side pods, the air wash from the front tyres would be forced onto a larger floor surface, providing downforce. However, the vehicle has failed to produce this season, and in the pole position battle in Austria halfway through the season, the lead Mercedes was no closer to the top of the timesheets than it was in Bahrain. Russell's race simulation was the best of the 2 Mercedes drivers, but he was over a second slower per lap than Verstappen, who finished 3rd. Hamilton was 0.3 seconds faster in the long run than Vettel, who had the best race simulation times. George Russell acknowledged that the changes had improved his performance, but added that their competitors are also finding new ways to better their own cars too. Russell said, "We are probably a little bit slower today than we would have liked. I have work to do back at the factories tonight, but never say never." Mercedes has spent a lot of money on upgrades for Barcelona, Silverstone, and now Paul Ricard. So the question is, how long can they continue to throw money at a flawed design philosophy? It is understandable that the Brackley team is hesitant to go back to the drawing board, since doing so would put them even farther behind the rest of the field in terms of on-track experience. Furthermore, they would have to suspend production for this year in order to supply a new car for next year. It is a big decision, but it appears to be unavoidable. With the German automaker having gotten a better grasp on the porpoising issues that plagued the early part of its campaign, it has been able to commit more resources in subsequent races to unlocking more regular performance advances. This included a slew of improvements during the British Grand Prix, which allowed Lewis Hamilton to threaten Ferrari for the race win before finishing 3rd. Recognizing the need for additional lap time if it is to become a consistent contender for triumphs, the team is set to offer a significant improvement for this weekend's race at Paul Ricard. Toto Wolff, team manager, stated that the squad was on the right track, but that more was needed. "We scored 3 podiums in the first 7 races, and we have now achieved 4 in the last 4, he said. I'm pleased with the momentum we are building, and it reflects the mammoth effort of the team. Our understanding of the W13 is growing with every lap, and it's encouraging to see that reflected in our development and results. While the full breadth of Mercedes modifications is unlikely to be revealed, the Brackley-based team appears to be running with an entirely new nose shape. The design has a distinct profile than the previous flatter version, and its tapering as it blends with the rest of the nose structure seems more sophisticated. Mercedes has been targeting better straight-line speed performance with the W13, and the new curved nose might be an attempt to minimize drag. The new design also takes a different approach to the driver cooling holes at the front tip, which might be influenced by the hot weather forecast in France this weekend. The French Grand Prix was Mercedes' greatest chance of winning a race this season, with the smooth track surface and high-speed nature of the circuit well suited to the attributes of its 2022 rival. Andrew Chauvelin said that the improvements Mercedes installed on their car at Silverstone gave a few tenths of more performance, allowing them to reduce the gap on Ferrari and Red Bull. Lewis Hamilton stated earlier in the season that he hoped to see Mercedes resolve the bouncing issues on the W13 by Silverstone, and it looks that their goals were satisfied. Mercedes trackside engineering director Chauvelin noted that he was relieved to see the vehicle operating more smoothly following 3 turbulent weekends in Monaco, Azerbaijan, and Canada. While George Russell retired after colliding with Pierre Gasly at the start of the race, Hamilton finished on the podium. Chauvelin explained, "The key thing for us here was seeing they actually performed as expected, and they did that. They were delivering a few tenths more downforce to the car, and we think we saw that in terms of the performance on the weekend." Throughout the race, Hamilton was able to stay up with both Ferrari drivers and was actually reeling them in with a series of consecutive fastest laps when the safety car came out. Chauvelin said that returning to a more traditional, smoother circuit helped Mercedes improve their performance throughout the weekend. But he also recognised that there is still work to be done to make their car competitive in all track conditions. Nonetheless, there were encouraging signals in the Mercedes garage. What are your thoughts on McLaren's bid to be at the top of the Formula One this season or next? Please let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. And if you haven't done so already, make sure to subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss any of our incredible videos. Keep an eye out for the next video. Bye for now.